under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We did good Saturday. We did a good one.
Hey everybody, welcome. First order of business here to get started here is we're going to make an appointment for our supervisor, interim supervisor, to fill out the rest of the term here. Ms. Lisa, did you want to put any points in here or talk about what you thought?
My thoughts?
Yes.
First of all, and I know we finished last week with it, thank you to the 4 participants for your time last week and openly and candidly answering questions from us as well as the people that attended the meeting last week. I know I certainly appreciate the time and I appreciate that you were prepared and well prepared to answer questions and kept the discussion open and in a manner that was reasonable, I think, to everybody in the room, that it was a presentation approach that kept everybody listening and engaged without adding a lot of emotion or any frustration in the room. I thought it went really, really well. From my personal opinion, I think all 4 candidates are great. I think you'd all be able to do a wonderful job as long as you're dedicated to the township and making the best decisions for the people in the township and realize that while each of us are a body of one that represent the township, when you sit on this side of the board, you really have to represent the majority of the township and make sure that we're listening to people's input and understanding what the township's desires are. So I think all 4 of you would be able to do that. Put your personal opinions aside and be representative of the community and the township as a whole. My deciding factor came down to one, at least the way that I lead, came down to one really important factor. And that is, I look back to last February when we had the same situation and we had a few candidates that were interested. And when Bill Landman wasn't selected as the supervisor, it actually fueled me to want to run because I felt like he had done what he needed to. He had obtained many votes and only lost by a handful, so he had done what he needed to in a sense of door knocking, getting his name out there, meeting with people, listening to what the township wanted. So with that said, my preferred candidate is Bill Carafa, because you have taken that effort. You ran in 21, you lost by 30 votes. I think that showed that you put the effort out there and you really did have a desire to do what was best for the township. So that's my vote.
Okay. For me, it was pretty much the same process here. I definitely appreciate everybody who put their name in the hat for the position. It's not easy putting yourself out there in front of everybody, especially your community. For me, it was really, it came down to experience, knowledge, and being here and understanding what's already going on, being able to hit the ground running and making these, decisions based on knowledge you already have instead of trying to play catch up. I will admit it was tough. I liked 2 people in the end here, but ultimately it did come down to years of service here, and there was only one person that really had 15 years of service dedicated to this community. I did like another gentleman, and I'll be honest, it was Mr. Reed. He stepped up here in January, and he's been a part of this planning commission and has put forward so much work. It's just been impressive, and I would encourage everybody to, since you've already come this far, to continue to be a part of, the decision-making process here and being a part of, what goes on in your township. But again, it did come back to 15 years worth of service and already having multiple votes and support from both sides of the community, regardless of party, I should say. So I did as well. I did decide on Mr. Carafa as well. So do we have comment or just make our motion now?
Yes.
Just make our motion. So Ms. Lisa, you want to
I'll make a motion to appoint William Carafa to the vacant position of Board of Supervisors.
I second, or all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. So Bill, you should, I guess, come and take
Come on down.
It's for him to get someone before he starts to take any kind of action. He's gonna go to. That's what he's working on.
Do you have the leadership for that?
Swearing in?
That's a deadly seat. There's a reason you're sitting in it, not me. We have to wait for him to be sworn in
Yeah.
before we move on to
Next
anything?
You can do public comment, but for.
Okay, is there any
for him
public
to-
comment while we sit here?
Yes.
Just for the sake of keeping the meeting moving. Is there public comment, anybody?
I'm gonna sit down front.
You're fine. Here. I'll put the periscope
Matt
on.
twisted it up, you're really not on.
Yeah, it's over your head.
I don't want to block the chief.
So yeah, now you're stuck. You can't approve minutes without,
Why can't we approve minutes?
well, the two of you can, he just can't vote yet anyway.
You couldn't vote on them anyway.
Yeah.
Right, so you can do this.
Did you review the minutes? I did.
I did.
Okay.
You said you did?
I did.
Okay. Then I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from July 10th and August 7th.
I second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And now we wait.
Now you're stuck.
Now-
Now we wait.
See the exit?
I didn't see it.
I don't know what you were invited to. Yeah. Yeah, but Aaron is gonna read the first set of reports, so.
That's true.
It went off the road.
So I'm back
Held
to.
up with one and
Right.
We can't find the car.
I don't know what he went to get though.
They took him to the hospital.
No. When I detoured down Perkiomen, I'm like, oh God, please not. Please not.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
You go to Bible or?
He didn't know anything about it.
I'm just judging.
I was like, we don't want nothing to do with this. Just put it back in the car. He probably went to the hospital. He had his medical marijuana. He used to grow up like he said the kid was
Is he hungry?
whatever. 3 letter word.
I wasn't sure where you were going yet.
Stand up, repeat after me. I state your name, do solemnly swear
I, Lee Brown, do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States
I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties of Board of Supervisors
and will discharge the duties of Board Supervisor
in Upper Frederick Township,
in Upper Frederick Township,
Montgomery County,
Montgomery County,
in fidelity.
in fidelity.
You're now a supervisor. And we had to wait for you because we're on the treasurer's report now, so you're up.
All right.
We approved the minutes.
Very good, very good.
Tried to move things.
All right, treasurer's report for this month. We're looking pretty sound for this month. We are at 33.66% of our expected expenditures for the year, but that is taking into account that we have a large road project that has not yet been built. Without that project in it, we're at 58% of our budget expenditures year to date, which is right on target to where we should be according to our budget. Of note, we are taking in a little bit more money than we were expecting in earned income tax, but we are falling short in a couple of other areas, and so far total revenue collections are less than 2023 by $96,499 so far this year. And this can largely be contributed to liquid fuels money and the fact that we've not received a contract yet for winter plowing from the state. So we do expect that to change as well for the majority. That's the treasurer's report for this month. Moving on to the bills report. In front of you, finally, you have a complete list of all the buildings. The total bills for this month are $81,410.29. I make a motion that we approve the bills list and pay the needed bills.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Moving along to emergency services. We have a report for Plymouth ambulance. Okay, so total year to date, they have 204 calls. Their monthly total for Frederick Living was 11. Monthly total for Upper Frederick Township was 23. And the Frederick Living monthly total was 91. Upper Frederick Fire, Mr. Kenner.
For the people that don't know me, my name's Doug Kenner. I'm the chief of the fire department. Monthly calls, we only had 6 last month, which was good. Fire prevention's working. We were in service 2 hours and 19 minutes. Yearly total was 101 calls so far this year. We were in service 50 hours and 35 minutes. I just want to throw this out there. For the month, the total volunteer hours, which are administrative, drill training, meeting hours, facility equipment maintenance, community support and fundraising, we had 213 hours last month. But for the year, we're at 3,018.75. Not too much going on. We kind of backed off on training this month, so with the heat and everything and everybody being on vacation, we just couldn't round enough people up to have a pretty decent training, so we're getting ready to get back at it and hit it hard. Anybody have any questions for me or anything?
I'd like to thank the fire department and all the volunteers that came out to help with the Gashahaken Folk Festival. We really appreciate all the extra help you guys give us and making sure that's a nice, safe event.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we spent a lot of hours over there in the mud on Friday, which was ugly. We had more volunteers we did people to show up over there, you know, as far as participants in the show. But Saturday turned out really great. It was very, very good participation all the way around, but by Saturday night we had some spent firemen, so.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Great, thank you.
Is Miller Services here?
Yes.
Oh, there he is. I didn't see you back
I'm in the back. Plants are running good. No violations to report. Had a DEP inspection at the water plant Thursday. They did a full inspection, everything passed. The only thing I gotta do is change the names on the paperwork, like the managers and supervisors. Okay. Which is, it's not a violation, it's just, and change her name because she's new, so.
Okay.
Just easy stuff. I got a quote for the mixers for Perkiomen Crossing. Total was $20,000, $640. Yeah, that includes the shipping. I'll send you the email. I send you the quote and stuff.
Okay.
I'll send it to you. Right now I just have pumps in there and they clog pretty often. So the mixers won't clog. And that's really about it.
Okay.
Any questions?
No, I'm hoping you did your due diligence on looking around for the mixer.
That's the only one place.
Is that
For
right?
flight, yeah, they come out Sweden. So you're screwed.
One way to put it right there.
Yeah, they have one rep, and that's the way it goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was, what was it? 20,000?
Yeah,
2640.
$20,640.
Wow.
That's with the shipping, and that's also evaluating one of the old mixers. But that doesn't include repairing it.
Okay.
But hopefully they can fix that one. Because by the time you just get a motor, that's what's wrong with them. You might as well get a mixer. Because the motor has to come from Sweden, they don't keep them in stock. The mixer will be 5 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
Where it'll be 6 months for a motor.
Okay. Okay.
Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yep.
Public Works Roads Report. Is that you, Mr.
All right,
Walter?
for Public Works, this month they've been working on road mowing again. They've also been doing 3 or 4 minor road shoulder repairs as well. A more detailed list of all the projects they've been to is in the hall in the posted report. But the guys have been busy and been doing good work.
Okay. Civil engineer.
Okay, LTL's updated the engineer's report for the month of August and distributed to the township for your review. I can certainly answer any questions. Really, the only update is that it's been pretty quiet on the from the PC, other than things that we're working on. But the Faust Road project, and that's a separate line item on the agenda, so I figured I'd probably just handle that all in one shot.
Okay.
Okay. But any questions?
All right, so everything else that it's on here is just, it's just the same.
Just the status quo, yeah, nothing's really happening.
Okay. Building inspector report. Dave?
It's in here. The zoning part of it involves some issues and some complaints with regard to a couple properties. I need to discuss those with the board in executive session when we get the opportunity, so that we can move forward and get those addressed.
Okay.
So we need to set up a time, once we have a little less going on, that we can sit down and talk about that.
Okay.
Are those the 3 properties, all 3, or just certain ones?
All 3,
All 3, okay.
yes.
Also moving forward, just for the board's sake and as well as the residents, what I've started doing is I catch up with John Cuck during the day and kind of go through that with him. I spoke with Vicki for really briefly before the meeting to try to be able to answer those questions, since John he's not here at the meeting to be able to answer those questions. So I kind of get an update, and then I spoke with Vicki, and she was kind of giving me an update, which isn't much right now, like I said, because of what she needs to discuss with the executive session.
Okay.
So,
Okay. All right. Planning Commission? Any updates back here, Bob, you want to give out?
Buck's going to do it since he authored this, what you're going to be voting on tonight.
So what we have in front of us is a water quality data collection ordinance. I think everybody in this room with private wells can agree that we have fantastic water here in this township, and we want to keep it that way. So using the numbers put out by the Delaware Valley River Basin Committee of 10,000 gallons per day is what this ordinance pertains to. So if a developer puts in a well that's going to be drawing that, and at 300 homes will pull out 120,000 gallons a day, and it could easily ruin the quality of your water. So what this ordinance does is gives everybody the tools necessary to establish, it would be paid for by whoever's running the well. So you will have the tools necessary to establish the quality of the water. So for basically a year, spring, summer, winter, and fall, ahead of time, your water can be collected, sent out, and sent to a lab with a standardized collection service, and so that you know what it is. Because if you don't know what it is and the quality changes after the fact, you really don't have much to say. So from the center of the well, a mile to the left and a mile to the right, so 2 miles radius is what that'll cover.
Perfect. Central Perkiomen Valley Regional Planning Commission, Bob?
Basically, Bill and I went to that. They talked a lot about EV charging stations, possibly at trailheads, plus a lot of bike trails, bikes using roads, and did some stuff that we want to delve into. Collegeville is planning on doing like widened sidewalks to 5 foot, which I think we need to look into, plus increasing widths in new developments for roadways.
Okay, perfect. Parks and Rec?
Yes, we had our meeting and on the 23rd, and we discussed Community Day. We are still making plans for that. We have a number of volunteers that are assisting in contacting sponsors and vendors and just participants for Community Day. As of that date, we have $1,150 in cash donations from sponsors and over $500 in gift cards and game vouchers. We have Sound Sensations disc jockey, who we've used in the past, booked, and KRB Mobile Inflatables will be here with their rock wall, bungee, trampoline, and obstacle course. We have a number of other participants that have agreed to come. We will be doing advertising over the next month. And we are keeping track of we were provided a budget of $6,000, and then with the added sponsor dollars, we have over $7,100 that we are, and hopefully more by now, that we can use for the cost. And then our new business is movie night with Lower Frederick. That's a joint effort with Lower Frederick Township. That will be at the Spring Mount. And the movie is Wish. It is on September 7th. We will start it at dusk. And so that's coming up soon.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Moving on to new business. We have the resignation of Mr. Walizer here, and an appointment of a new interim manager. Aaron, would you like to?
First, I'd like to thank the board for the opportunity, and giving me a chance to work here at Upper Frederick. Unfortunately, a job that I thought was dead ended up not being dead, and reached out to me recently, and ended up being an opportunity that really helped my family out quite a bit, and something that I just wasn't able to, pass up. But I do want to thank both of you, both Lisa and Bill. You guys were great to work with, quite easy to work with as well. So I really appreciated that, and having good conversations with both of you guys, and being, you guys are both very open to learning, and I've really enjoyed that. So I want to say thank you.
Thank you. I just want to add that while I'm super disappointed that you're leaving, I'm happy you found, something that's helpful for you and your family, and